Real change is not about changing for others. Real change is about changing for yourself. How many of you have heard throughout the ages and throughout this generation, becoming your better self, living your best life, striving to become the best that you can be, becoming your authentic self? All of that stuff has credence. All of that stuff has some measure of truth. But the real truth is that you shouldn't change for anybody else. You should change because you need to change for you. So many times I've come across people that have attempted to change because somebody else suggested they change, somebody else told them that they needed to change, or somebody else pointed out something in them that needed changing. But the change, when it occurs that way, is never long lasting. And the reason it's not long lasting is because you were told what to do. You were told that you needed to change something, but until you have the realization that you need to change some aspect of your personality or yourself to become better, the change is not going to be long lasting. So therefore, change needs to start with you. It needs to start with within your psyche, within your mind. You need to start telling yourself, you know what? These are the reasons I need to change. And a lot of the times it's based on feedback. Feedback from other people is great. 100 jackasses can't be wrong. That's what they say in my country. If you have a lot of people telling you the same thing about the same situation or the same circumstance, chances are there's time for reflection, self-analysis, and just looking inside. Now that's the area of psychology. A lot of people have a problem with self-analyzing or being analyzed by others. But the truth of the matter is we should be doing it ourselves on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you need to be asking yourself when you wake up in the morning after you've done the perfunctory things that need to be done, you need to be asking yourself, what am I going to make different today? What am I going to change to become a better person? How can I become a better person? If a lot of us took that attitude, the world would be a better place. But many of us get out of bed and, according to the law of accident, we just fall out of bed and we fall into a routine or fall into our lives. But the people who do not do that, the people who understand the law of control, the law of taking control of your circumstances, your life, and your outcomes, those are the people who don't just roll out of bed. Those are the people who show up purposefully and purposely. Those are the people who ask themselves, how can I be better today? What can I do to make a difference in this realm or this world today? Does it mean that you have to think about other people in order to become better? No, you need to think about who you want to be. A lot of us pattern ourselves after social media or movies or other people that we've seen growing up. We have role models in our heads without realizing that we do. Think about this. Many men and women alike have a standard of the person that they want to be with. They know the height, they know the breadth, they know the length, they know what kind of hair, what kind of eyes. They have thought about this for many, many years before they actually meet somebody or they're drawn to somebody that they're attracted to based on the criteria that they built it in their head. It is no different with you. You are the person you are because of the choices you've made. Stop making excuses. Stop thinking that it's somebody else's fault that you became this person. Yeah, there are the rare occasions, and there are occasions when circumstances and situations can shape you, and they can shape you negatively. They can impact you and affect you to the point where you don't feel you can change, or even better still, you may not want to change. A lot of times I've found that when people do not want to change, it's because they believe that who they are and what they have built up is the best defense against the world and others. How many times have you met someone who says, well, this is just the way I am, and I've always been this way? That's someone that is comfortable being that way. That's somebody who's accepted that the way they are is getting the results that they desire. Does it mean they're getting the best results that they could possibly get? No. But a lot of people, a lot of us, and let me include me in that, a lot of us hold on to these structures that we've built in our minds. We've determined that we cannot change because to change ourselves means that we're going to encourage certain behavior or certain people in our lives. That may be true. And again, here's another truth. The truth is that if you're thinking like that, it's because you have some element of fear. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that you're not strong enough to withstand the people that you do not want to bring into your world or that may invade your world? So it's fear. It's fear not just of the unknown, but it's fear that you are not as strong as you think you are. A lot of times we barricade ourselves into these, they say pigeonhole. It's the same thing. You barricade yourself into a place where you truly believe that who you are, with all your flaws, with all your faults and everything, is the best version of yourself. I'm here to tell you, it may be, for some of you, it may absolutely be the truth. That's the best version of who you are. But what I'm saying is that we can test that theory on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we can say, you know what? This is who I choose to be today. This is a choice that I'm purposely making in order to set my life and put myself on a different path, on a different trajectory. Change is inevitable. That's what they say. Change is inevitable, but it doesn't come without resistance. A lot of us are practicing that resistance, the resistance to becoming something greater, or just pushing through the barriers of our failings or flaws or the things that we feel are really our shortcomings and we are afraid for the rest of the world to see. When you're afraid of change, when you choose to ignore the fact that there's growth and there's potential growth to be had, what we as individuals tend to do is we tend to barricade ourselves, like I mentioned earlier, but not only we barricade ourselves, we put ourselves in situations or we even attract energy that results in keeping us where we are. Think about that. The universe responds to energy. It responds to your positive energy and it also responds to your negative energy. If you are staying in the place because of fear, if you're staying in the place because you don't want to be judged, if you're staying in the place because you're afraid of what people may say to you or how people may view you, most people cannot read your mind. Most people are not mind readers. So what you're putting out are your insecurities. What you're putting out is the stuff that you really don't want people to see. The only reason they see it most of the times is because inadvertently you're showing them who you are by your actions, by your responses, and your reactions to life. Change is inevitable, but what is necessary for that change to take place is to put aside the resistance that you are experiencing towards moving forward. I know it's not easy. I know that some people have suffered physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, and those can be limiting in themselves. But here's what you need to also acknowledge, that the same power that tried to break you is the same power that is limiting you. Let me say that again. The same power that tried to break you is the same power that is limiting you. Push past that. Push past that energy and take control of your life. They can hurt the body, but they cannot wound your spirit. And if you allow people to wound your spirit, then you will be immobilized by your fear of being hurt again, your fear of dealing with people because people are unpredictable, I agree. But greater than that is the fact that you have to love yourself beyond the pain and beyond the resistance that you're experiencing right now. Love yourself enough to say that today, this day is a day that you will choose to grow. This day is a day that you will choose to move forward. This day is a day that you will choose to embrace the change that could actually make you even better than you yourself recognize. And I'm saying this because a lot of times, especially in the African American community, a lot of people don't want to do counseling. A lot of people are afraid because it's culturally taboo or they don't believe that they can get any value from it. But the value can be greater than you can imagine because the value provides you with growth. And the reason that most people cannot move from where they are is because they're not growing. Think about it. Have you ever had that friend that always tells the same stories? Is the same story every time you go out or you hang out with that person? I've always thought, what the heck is that about? And years later, after perusing it more, I realized that person is telling the same story because that person has not gone anywhere to experience anything else. The circumstances and situations that they keep on relaying is from a place where they have not moved from. If you're constantly engaged in life, if you're constantly seeking to grow, if you're constantly having experiences that prompt that growth, your story is going to be different. Your story is not going to be the same. And more importantly, you're going to have greater stories to tell because the stories will be based on the measure of your growth. My name is Ingrid Felton. As always, thank you as always for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I hope that you got some measure of truth or some gold nugget from what I brought to you today. Change is inevitable, but in order for the change to become effective in our lives, we need to stop being resistant. Today is the day. Why not now? Why not this moment? Please visit me again on my website, www.ingridfelton.com, if you want to find out more information about me. Thank you for subscribing to the videos. Thank you for subscribing here on the YouTube channel. Also, thank you for liking the videos and leaving your comments. Please reach out to me if you want to know anything else